All right, Scorpio, let's get into your reading. So, the message that I have for you today is this: it is pure, undeniable love. This person's heart is completely full of you, and they are finally ready to show it. Everything they have been carrying inside of them, every quiet feeling once held back, is now surfacing. Nothing is halfway about what this person feels because their emotions reached a tipping point long ago. You might not see all of it yet, but underneath the silence, something monumental has been building. For longer than you realize, they held this inside, and now the walls around it are crumbling. Whatever you thought this connection was before, I need you to understand that it runs much deeper. This person thinks about you in moments they cannot control, and that alone tells me everything. Their love for you was never a choice. It is something that overtook them at the deepest level. It is the kind of love where your name alone shifts something inside their entire body. No one asks for this kind of intensity, and yet it found them and it refuses to leave. You live inside their thoughts like a rhythm, constant and warm and impossible to shake loose. What they carry for you is anything but casual, and the cards are going to confirm that. The first card coming through is the Ace of Cups, and it speaks volumes right here. Overflowing emotion pours from this card, the kind of love that cannot stay hidden any longer. When the Ace of Cups shows up here, it confirms this person's heart is truly spilling over. Planning for this depth of feeling was never possible, and yet here it is, consuming every thought. What sits inside their chest at this very moment is a love unlike anything they have known. Purity radiates from this card, a raw and unfiltered connection that started from something deeply real. This card tells me that their love is not built on fantasy. It grew from genuine shared moments. Every glance you gave them landed somewhere deep, and they stored each one like treasure in their memory. The Ace of Cups confirms their cup is full, and it has your name written across every drop. Morning arrives, and you are their first thought. Night falls, and your energy still wraps around their mind. That is what the Ace of Cups brings forward, a love that is overflowing and completely undeniable. Their heart already made the decision, long before their mind caught up or reason had any say. The next card pulling forward is the Star, and this one carries such a beautiful weight to it. The Star tells me this person sees you as their healing and their hope wrapped into one. You became something sacred in their life without trying, and that realization changed everything inside them. Looking at you brings them stillness, like the storm they once carried has finally gone quiet. Before you came along, they were searching, and now that restless ache has been replaced with calm. No confusion exists in this person's heart about you. No doubt sits anywhere inside their spirit. What they feel is clear and unwavering, and the universe placed this card here to prove that truth. You are their answered prayer, the one thing they whispered about during nights when nobody else listened. Cosmic alignment radiates from this card, where two souls were always meant to collide at the right time. They do not want you in passing. They want you permanently woven into the fabric of life. This person looks at the future and sees your face in every version of the story they imagine. That is the weight the Star carries here, a bond that was destined long before you both knew. Something about your presence alone, your quiet steadiness, rewired the way they experience tenderness and vulnerability. Now, the last card stepping forward is the Knight of Cups, and this shifts the entire reading. The Knight of Cups represents action. This person is done with sitting quietly inside their own feelings. They are gathering their courage right now, preparing to do something about the weight on their heart. Movement is coming, and when this person decides to act, nothing will hold them back from you. The Knight of Cups never arrives halfway, and neither will this person when they finally reach for you. You are about to witness raw devotion, an open love that will demand to be seen and felt. They are tired of distance, tired of wondering whether the timing is right or the moment perfect.
All right, the energy coming through today is this, and it sits directly on your side of the connection.
Right now, you are standing in a space where your heart already knows exactly what it wants. You have been feeling this pull for a while, something magnetic that refuses to quiet down inside you. It is not confusion or doubt, it is clarity, wrapped in a patience you barely recognize as yours. Your energy tells me that you have done the inner work and you feel it in your bones. Whatever version of yourself you were before this connection, that version has already started fading behind you. Growth happened in ways nobody else noticed, and the transformation unfolded so quietly, even you almost missed it. There were nights where you sat alone with your thoughts, wondering if all of this weight meant something. It did mean something. Every ounce of it carried purpose, and the cards are going to show that. Deep down, you sensed that none of your pain was wasted, and your spirit held on to that belief. The first card we have for you is the High Priestess, and she speaks directly to your intuition. Your gut has been telling you something for weeks, a whisper that sits just beneath your daily thoughts. The High Priestess confirms you already sense the truth, even if no one said it out loud yet. Validation from the outside world is not what you need because something inside you already holds every answer. A knowing lives in your chest that goes beyond logic, beyond what your rational mind can explain. The High Priestess reveals that your spiritual awareness, your inner compass, has sharpened dramatically during this entire journey. Trusting yourself became second nature recently, and that shift alone changed the way you receive love entirely. Silence no longer scares you the way it used to, because you learned how to listen within it. Your intuition became your anchor, steady and unshakable, even when everything around you felt uncertain and unclear. Inner knowing guided you here for a reason, and the High Priestess confirms you were right to listen. Faith carried you when the evidence was thin, and that quiet courage is what separated you from everyone. Listening to your own heart above the noise took bravery, and every card here honors that decision. The next card coming forward is the Six of Wands, and this one celebrates everything you have overcome. Victory lives inside your energy right now. Not the loud kind, but the deep and earned kind. Battles nobody else saw were fought and won, without asking for applause or recognition from a single soul. The Six of Wands says you are stepping forward, into a version of yourself that finally feels deserving. For so long you questioned whether you were enough, and now that doubt is dissolving piece by piece. Your confidence is not borrowed from anyone. It was built from every tear and every lesson you survived. The Six of Wands confirms the universe sees your effort, even the parts you thought went completely unnoticed. Walking through fire made you softer instead of harder, and that takes a rare kind of strength. Everything you endured shaped your heart into something open, something generous and brave enough to love without armor. The Six of Wands stands here as proof. You are not where you used to be anymore. Your growth is undeniable, and it radiates from you whether you realize it or not in this moment. Where you once flinched at vulnerability, you now lean into it with a grace that surprises even you. Each scar became wisdom instead of weight, and that alchemy is exactly what prepared you for this moment. Now, the final card arriving is the Page of Cups, and this one lands in your emotional center. The Page of Cups tells me your heart, wide open and trusting, is ready to receive something beautiful. Approaching love with fresh eyes feels natural again, like someone experiencing wonder for the very first time. Old wounds that once blocked your ability to trust have slowly started releasing their grip on your spirit. The Page of Cups brings innocence back into your energy, a willingness to believe without needing guarantees first. Guarding yourself the way you once did no longer feels necessary, and that vulnerability is your greatest strength. Your heart whispers yes, even when your mind tries to hesitate, and that tension is beautifully human. Emotional availability flows through you naturally now, present and willing to meet love exactly where it stands. So, what I am picking up on is this person's inner world, and it runs incredibly deep. Their mind has not stopped racing. Every thought circles back to one place and one person only. What lives inside them right now is not a passing crush. It is a consuming emotional awakening. They feel things they never allowed themselves to feel, and it frightens them as much as it heals. Vulnerability was never their language, and yet here they are, unable to stop their walls from crumbling. Something cracked open inside their chest recently, and no amount of logic can put it back together. Their pride used to protect them from moments like this, but love found a way past every barrier. What they carry inside feels enormous, like a wave they cannot outrun no matter how fast they move. The first card coming through for their side is the Emperor, and this speaks to their foundation. This person built their entire identity around control, around structure and strength that never wavered publicly. The Emperor confirms that they are used to leading, used to being the one who holds everything together. Emotion was something they managed quietly, never allowing it to spill over or show through the cracks. Their exterior stayed composed for years, but underneath that steady surface, a storm has been gathering silently. The Emperor tells me they take love seriously, more seriously than most people would ever expect from them. When this person gives their heart, it is permanent, and that commitment is what slowed them down. Fear of losing control kept them cautious, kept them measuring every word and every step toward closeness. The Emperor reveals their hesitation was never doubt. It was about protecting something they knew was sacred. They recognized early on that what they feel is not something casual or temporary or replaceable. That recognition terrified them because once they admit this to themselves, there is no going back from it. Their strength has always been their armor, and now love is asking them to set that armor down. The Emperor confirms this battle, a person torn between safe walls and the overwhelming pull of surrender. The next card stepping forward is the Nine of Pentacles, and this reveals what they built alone. This person worked hard to create stability, pouring years of effort into becoming someone they could respect. Independence became their greatest achievement, a life they carved out alone without depending on a single soul. The Nine of Pentacles shows me self-sufficiency, someone who learned early that relying on others carried risk. They stood on their own through every season, and that discipline became their deepest source of pride. What makes this connection different is that it disrupted their solitude, not with chaos, but with unexpected warmth. The Nine of Pentacles confirms they were complete before this love arrived, and yet it shifted everything. Completeness did not protect them from wanting more, from craving a presence that matched their energy perfectly. They never expected to find this, someone who made independence feel less important than building together. This card reveals a person wrestling with contradiction, fully whole and yet aching to merge with another. The Nine of Pentacles tells me their pride is slowly bending, not breaking, but softening in meaningful ways. Admitting they need connection goes against every instinct they trained themselves to trust, and yet here they are. Their guarded nature meets raw honesty inside their chest every single night, and honesty is starting to win. Now, the final card arriving is the Two of Wands, and this reveals where their mind is heading. The Two of Wands speaks to vision. This person is already imagining a future that includes something lasting. They stand at a crossroads internally. One path leads back to safety, and the other leads toward love. The Two of Wands confirms they are leaning forward, their spirit already choosing, even before they speak. Planning has begun quietly inside their head, small thoughts about what life could look like with closeness. They picture moments that have not happened yet, and those visions feel more real than anything around them. The Two of Wands shows me ambition turned tender, a person channeling their focus toward emotional territory now. Where they once directed all their energy outward, something has pulled their attention inward and toward this connection. All right, now we are moving into what is actually happening, the action and the movement unfolding right now. Things are no longer sitting still, and the dynamic between both sides has started to physically shift. Decisions that were once frozen in place are beginning to thaw, and motion is picking up fast. Conversations are about to happen that were delayed for far too long, and the timing is lining up. Hesitation is officially ending here, and what replaces it is a forward momentum that feels completely unstoppable. Nothing about what comes next will be passive, because the connection crossed a threshold it cannot reverse. The first card we have is the Eight of Wands, and this card is pure, rapid movement. The Eight of Wands tells me things are about to accelerate dramatically, faster than either side anticipated. Messages are coming through, whether through words or actions, and they will arrive with surprising swiftness. Delays are officially over with this card. The waiting period served its purpose, and now it ends. Communication that was once careful and measured is about to become direct and impossible to misinterpret. The Eight of Wands shows energy flying forward, like arrows released after being pulled back for months. No more second guessing exists in this space, because the momentum has been set into irreversible motion. Plans that existed only as thoughts are now becoming concrete, tangible steps that carry real weight behind them. The Eight of Wands confirms reach. This person will bridge the gap through clear and deliberate action. Speed defines this entire phase of the connection. Nothing crawls or lingers or stalls from this point forward. What once moved slowly now moves like lightning, and that shift happened because a choice was finally made. Stagnation has been replaced with urgency, a pulse of forward motion that neither side can slow down. Every blocked road is clearing simultaneously, and the path ahead looks wider and more open than ever before. The next card arriving is the Chariot, and this brings focused and determined forward motion into the reading. Willpower in its purest form radiates from this card, someone locked onto a direction who will not waver. Impulsive energy is not what drives this. It is calculated and steady, and driven by earned clarity. The Chariot tells me this person is steering toward the connection with both hands firmly on the wheel. Obstacles that once seemed overwhelming are being navigated with precision, not avoided, but driven straight through with intent. Determination fuels every move being made right now, and that determination is rooted in emotional certainty. Retreat is no longer an option with this card, because their heart already committed fully to the path. Forward is the only direction that exists for them now, and nothing external will derail that trajectory. Discipline channeled into pursuit is what the Chariot reveals, someone who refuses to let fear dictate movement. Action backed by conviction is what this card represents, and tangible progress is already unfolding quietly. Resolve has hardened into something unshakable, and the momentum behind their choices carries a weight both will feel. Intention sharpened into focus is what separates this moment from everything that came before in this connection. No wasted motion exists anymore. Every step taken from here is deliberate and aimed at one clear destination. Now the final card stepping in is the Three of Pentacles, and this reveals how the action materializes. The Three of Pentacles speaks to building, two people beginning to construct something real and grounded together. Surface level connection is not what lives here. It is effort where both sides invest equally and willingly. Collaboration enters the picture with this card, shared effort replacing the isolation that existed before on both sides. Foundations are being laid as we speak through small but meaningful gestures, each one stacking toward something permanent. Actions speak louder than promises in this reading, and this person chooses movement over empty words every time. Building requires patience and consistency, and the Three of Pentacles confirms both qualities are present moving forward. Effort pours into this connection deliberately, not carelessly, but with the precision of someone who truly means it. Teamwork replaces solitude with this card, a shift from individual longing toward mutual and shared creation together. So now we are stepping into what this person has never said, the hidden confessions buried deep. These are truths they whisper only to themselves, the ones they guard with everything they have. What lives beneath their silence is heavier than anyone knows, and it centers entirely on you. They rehearse conversations in their head that never reach their lips, and each one ends with honesty. Confessions sit stacked inside their chest like letters never mailed, each one more vulnerable than the last. Unspoken words have become their own presence, filling rooms they walk through alone late at night. Fear holds the words hostage inside them, but the feelings behind those words grow louder every day. What they cannot bring themselves to say has taken root so deeply, it now shapes their every breath. The first card revealing their hidden truth is the moon, and this exposes what hides in shadow. The moon tells me this person carries a confession wrapped in fear, something raw and deeply unprotected. What they hide is not a small feeling, it is full surrender they have not yet voiced aloud. Underneath their composure lives a trembling admission, the kind that would change everything if it surfaced. The moon confirms they lay awake replaying moments with you, imagining what courage would actually sound like. Their secret is not complicated, it is devastatingly simple, and that simplicity is what frightens them most. They want to tell you something, that you are the only person who ever made them feel safe. Safety is what they crave from you, not protection from danger, but shelter from their own loneliness. The moon reveals they have practiced saying these words, mouthing them quietly when nobody else is around. Their confession hides behind laughter and deflection, behind casual tones that mask a desperation to be understood. Every surface interaction with you contains a buried message, a coded plea for you to see deeper. The moon exposes the illusion they maintain daily, pretending this love does not consume their waking hours. They act as though they are fine without you, but the moon confirms that act is crumbling. Behind closed doors, the mask falls, and what remains is a person aching to be honest with you. Privately, they have imagined a life together, not as fantasy, but as the only future that feels real. That admission terrifies them deeply, because wanting something this much means risking a loss they cannot survive. The next card stepping forward is the Seven of Cups, and this unveils dreams they keep locked away. The Seven of Cups shows me a mind overflowing with visions, each one centered around closeness with you. They dream about waking up beside you, about quiet mornings where nothing needs to be explained. Hidden inside those daydreams lives a confession of permanence. They do not want you, temporarily or conditionally. The Seven of Cups reveals fantasies built on domesticity, on building routines and rhythms with only one person. What they picture is not glamorous or dramatic. It is soft and lived in, and achingly ordinary. They imagine sharing silence without tension, occupying the same space, and falling into comfort that feels like home. The Seven of Cups tells me their deepest confession. They already chose you inside their mind completely. Every alternative faded the moment you became real to them, and no other option holds any weight now. They confess silently that no one compares, and that realization sits heavy because it removes every escape. Wanting you became involuntary, something their heart decided without consulting their pride or their fear or logic. The thought of losing you haunts them more than rejection, because absence would mean losing their only peace. Their mind returns to you like gravity, constant and unavoidable, and wrapped in a longing they cannot name. Now, the final card arriving is the Queen of Cups, and this holds the most tender confession. The Queen of Cups reveals emotional depth they have never shown another soul, softness reserved only for you. Their hidden truth is that you awaken feelings they spent years convincing themselves they were incapable of having. The Queen of Cups confirms they cry about you when nobody watches, not from sadness, but from overwhelm. Feeling loved by you is foreign and sacred, and they confess silently that they fear ruining it. Their deepest unspoken fear is unworthiness,
the terror that they will somehow fail the softness you offer freely. All right, now we are looking at what the near future holds, and the cards paint a beautiful picture. What comes forward from here is alignment, both sides moving toward each other with undeniable clarity. The first card for the near future is the Ten of Cups, and this is emotional fulfillment. The Ten of Cups tells me that mutual happiness is arriving, built on honesty and emotional safety. A chapter of wholeness is opening ahead, where both hearts finally land in the same place at once. The Ten of Cups confirms what was building privately is about to become something shared and visible. Joy enters this connection in a way that feels earned, not rushed or forced, but deeply deserved. Fulfillment radiates from every angle of this card, and the warmth it promises is lasting, not temporary. What both sides longed for separately is merging into one unified experience, and that shift begins very soon. The next card arriving is the Sun, and this brings warmth and certainty, flooding into every corner. Truth will come to light soon with this card. No more hiding and no more holding back. Clarity replaces confusion entirely here, and both sides will finally see the connection for what it truly is. The Sun confirms that happiness is not just possible, it is inevitable if both hearts stay open. Radiance surrounds this connection moving forward, a glow that others will notice before either side fully realizes it. Darkness has no place in this chapter because the Sun burns through every shadow that stood between you. Openness becomes the natural state between both sides, and pretending fades away, replaced by genuine transparency. Now, the final card is Temperance, and this brings balance and divine timing into the picture. Temperance tells me that patience served its purpose, and the universe is now ready to deliver everything promised. Balance arrives between giving and receiving, between vulnerability and strength, between longing and finally having. Nothing was wasted in this journey, according to Temperance. Every delay had a reason, now made clear. Divine orchestration brought this love to this exact point, and Temperance says to trust what unfolds next. Now, here is my advice to you, and I want you to carry this forward with openness. Do not shrink from what is coming toward you, because you earned this love through everything you survived. Stay open, even when instincts tell you to guard yourself, because protection is no longer what you need. Trust the timing that delivered you here, and know that what is meant for you will never pass. When this person reaches forward, meet them with the same honesty your heart has been holding all along. Release the old stories that told you love had to be difficult, because this chapter rewrites that. Allow yourself to receive without questioning whether you deserve it, because every card confirmed that you absolutely do. Lean into the warmth that approaches, and remember that vulnerability is not weakness, but your greatest offering. What arrives next was designed for you, and the universe asks only that you remain open to it. Now, let me bring it all together, because the message from the very beginning was clear. This is pure love. This person's heart is full of you, and they are ready to show it. That was the message opening this entire reading, and every single card confirmed that truth without hesitation. The Ace of Cups showed their heart overflowing,
The star revealed you as their healing and their hope. The Knight of Cups confirmed action was coming. The High Priestess honored the intuition that guided you here. The Six of Wands celebrated your victory. The Page of Cups opened your heart to receive beauty. The Emperor revealed their foundation of strength. The Nine of Pentacles showed a life now ready to share. The Two of Wands pointed toward a future already imagined. The Eight of Wands brought rapid movement. The Chariot confirmed unstoppable determination. And the Three of Pentacles promised both sides will build together. The Moon exposed confessions hidden in shadow. The Seven of Cups unveiled dreams guarded with everything. The Queen of Cups revealed tenderness reserved for you, a softness no one else has ever witnessed. The Ten of Cups promised fulfillment ahead. The Sun brought clarity and warmth flooding into the connection. Temperance sealed it with balance and divine timing, confirming everything unfolded exactly when it was meant to. The Ten of Cups tells me that mutual happiness is arriving, built on honesty and emotional safety. A chapter of wholeness is opening ahead, where both hearts finally land in the same place at once. The Ten of Cups confirms what was building privately is about to become something shared and visible. Joy enters this connection in a way that feels earned, not rushed or forced, but deeply deserved. Fulfillment radiates from every angle of this card, and the warmth it promises is lasting, not temporary. What both sides longed for separately is merging into one unified experience, and that shift begins very soon. The next card arriving is the Sun, and this brings warmth and certainty, flooding into every corner. Truth will come to light soon with this card. No more hiding and no more holding back. Clarity replaces confusion entirely here, and both sides will finally see the connection for what it truly is. The Sun confirms that happiness is not just possible, it is inevitable if both hearts stay open. Radiance surrounds this connection moving forward, a glow that others will notice before either side fully realizes it. Darkness has no place in this chapter because the Sun burns through every shadow that stood between you. Openness becomes the natural state between both sides, and pretending fades away, replaced by genuine